about it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving.
Yo, what is up? It's me, it's King. We're back. We're in the building with another episode of 7200 Seconds Podcast. And I got my guy, always, Coach Donte's in the building. What's going on, Coach?
What's going on? Some, great playoff moments. Ready to get back to work. Another 7200 Second Podcast. Ready to get right into it.
You said it, definitely. Wildcard Weekend was definitely wild and crazy. But we definitely gonna go over that as well. But just to let y'all know, we are live on all platforms. We are on the Sports Empire Network as well. So make sure, if you need all your tickets, concerts, name it, go to SeatGeek.com. Promo code SEN, save $20 on your first purchase. I know it's only $20, but you never know, that $20 might come in handy for you. So SEN, the promo code over there at SeatGeek, is your promo code. But Coach, let's get into it, man. Well, Saturday night, the NFL regular season is over, playoffs is here. Wildcard Weekend went Saturday night. Was definitely a little crazy. We had the San Francisco 49ers go up against the Seattle Seahawks, another NFC West matchup. Now San Fran and played twice already, then swept them in the regular season. They know what they say. It's hard to beat a team 3 times, but San Fran had no problem and shut up all the Purdy haters at that. So with that being said, the 49ers did struggle a little bit against Seattle. I was like, Seattle coming out fighting. They coming out swinging. But San Fran gets the job done and wins this game 41-23. And again, Brock Purdy silenced the haters as usual with he went 18 for 30, 232. He had 3 touchdowns, and his QBR was 89%. Of course, Christian McCaffrey ran up and down the field, 19 carries, 119 yards. And also you had Deebo Samuel. Welcome back, Deebo Samuel. 6 catches, 133 yards, and a touchdown. Elijah Mitchell and Christian McCaffrey also had a receiving touchdown. And of course, this defense. So Donte, talk about the San Fran-Seattle game. San Fran-Seattle game. What did you see in this game, and what did you like? What didn't you like?
Well, first of all, congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks. They had a very good season this year, and a lot of people didn't expect them, to make the playoffs. A lot of people didn't expect Geno Smith to have the year that he had. So I just want to give a quick congratulations to them. Accomplishment. They achieved expectations on making the playoffs. Walker had a great season, rookie running back season, but 49ers, they got surprised a little bit when they came out. They started playing well. They were punching San Francisco in the mouth. The 50-yard touchdown pass to DK Metcalf and the run by Kenneth Walker for a touchdown. And then Geno Smith was sliding. You got a stupid penalty, which prompted Myers to hit a 54-yard field goal to give them the lead. But after that, it was all San Francisco. San Francisco, tightened up their defense in the second half. Forced the fumble by Charles Omenihu, by the ex-Houston Texan. Forced the fumble, allowed Bosa to recover. And after that, it was all downhill. After that, just got to give credit to San Francisco making the adjustments, and Brock Purdy was, was sensational in this game. Regardless if the guys were open or not, like I said, we've been talking about. Regardless if they open or not, you can't knock nobody from finding the open guy. So Brock Purdy did what he had to do. He played well. Deebo Samuel, ran the 74-yard touchdown run. Like I say, Brock Purdy didn't turn the ball over. He didn't hurt the team. And just got to give credit. Just got to give credit where credit due. Brock Purdy has played really good. And, he is leading this team right here. But we'll see what he do against Dallas. But you got to give credit to the 49ers for making the adjustments and forcing the turnovers. And they also did get an interception on Geno Smith. So they came out in the second half really, really strong. And D'Amico Ryans, who's may get a head coaching job this coming off season, done a great job at making the adjustments that he needs to make.
If you notice that every San Fran's defensive coordinator gets offered a job. Remember last year where year before last it was Robert Saleh. He had that defense jumping. What happens? He gets a head coaching job for the Jets. Now D'Amico Ryans is up again. For another defensive coordinator for the 49ers, up for a head coaching job. 49ers definitely knows how to play defense. But what changed the most, in my opinion, is when Geno Smith fumbled that ball in the second. When he fumbled that ball.
That's what I'm saying. That's the play I was on with Charles Omenihu, who, takes and fumbled. When the fumble right there changed the whole momentum of the ball game. That's when the 49ers, started building momentum and the defense started getting the stops.
It was definitely a wrap after that, and then that's when everything just went flatline. But still, Geno Smith, his numbers, they wasn't bad. 25 of 35, 253, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Of course, you had DK Metcalf, 10 catches for 136 yards and 2 tubs. Again, he got the best 2 receivers in Metcalf. And again, one of the I can't express it enough. Tyler Lockett is so underrated, and he's he's a good deep ball receiver in the NFL. Going back up here to Anthony Price's comment, AP, he said Brock is making Trey Lance get his job back by Trey. So after all is said and done, do you think that Brock Purdy will be a starter going into next year?
I don't think so. I know a lot of people, think he should start over Trey Lance, but ain't no way in where, like I said, when you trade for the number 2 overall pick, they're not going to give up on Trey Lance that easy. I believe it's going to probably be more of a competition than anything, but I still think Trey Lance is going to be the guy. But the people are going to say, oh, he doesn't deserve to be the guy. You're seeing it's going to always be questions when a quarterback gets hurt, another quarterback comes in, and he is hot. He is really hot, and he wins them the Super Bowl. It's going to be a lot of course. It's going to be questioned. This guy should stay with the hot hand. But I don't see San Francisco giving up on Trey Lance due to they traded for him. Injuries happen. It's not Trey Lance's fault. It happens all the time. So I don't see the 49ers I don't see the 49ers, I don't see the 49ers giving up on Trey Lance. I think it's going to be more of a quarterback competition going into the offseason, though.
And then there's speculation. We don't know where Tom Brady's going to go, but then we're going to get into that game. We're going to get into last night's game. But Saturday's game, this was the game right here. I don't know about y'all, but I was ready to turn it off. Maybe at halftime. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars going up against the Los Angeles Chargers. Both quarterbacks haven't been the first time in their careers being in the playoffs. And the Jags hasn't been back in the playoffs since they went to the AFC Championship game back in what year? I forget what year that was. But 27 points, the Chargers was up in this game, and you thought that the Chargers had this game wrapped and under control. But if you went to sleep and you woke up and you saw that final score being 31-30 Jacksonville, you would be shocked. That's right, y'all. Jacksonville Jaguars comes back and win this game 31-30. Trevor Lawrence threw 4 interceptions in the first half, and we thought it was a done deal after that. But Trevor Lawrence battled back, 4 touchdowns, 4 picks, and laid his team to victory. Donte, what the hell happened in this game?
Well, Brandon Staley getting out coached, and Dougie just making the adjustments. Trevor Lawrence 4 interceptions in the first half. Should have been a 5th interception. Kyle Van Noy did drop the football, but like I said, give credit where credit due again. Trevor Lawrence was able to bounce back, come back to win the game. But I said again, most of that Dougie P was making adjustments. He did throw the ball a lot. I think he threw the ball 48 times, most of that time in the first half. Second half, they got the run game. He got the run. He said, let's go to the run game. Let's slow everything down. Let's give Travis Etienne more carries. That's when they started making adjustments and pushing it down the field. And that's why I was opening up so much of the field for Trevor Lawrence, because they were able to run the ball in the second half. Travis Etienne, I believe, had 8 carries going into the first half, and then he ended up with 12 more in the second half, which is a total of 20 carries. So getting him involved was very key to Trevor Lawrence finding these wide receivers wide open for easy touchdowns. Though when you talk about receivers was wide open, they were wide open, clearly blowing coverage. So again, we're gonna say Brock Purdy was wide open. Look at Trevor Lawrence. Go back and look at how much those receivers was wide open. Again, when you're running the football effectively, the deep is going to force that defense to open everything up, and that's what happened. And you've seen it on the foot when Jacksonville got the football right back. Everybody was stacked up, ready for the run over the middle, but Dougie P put a perfect formation in, a tight end and a fullback out there. And you see it looking like they were going to run up the middle. He ended up giving it to Travis Etienne on the right side. You see a whole right side open up, and that was a prompter for the field goal. But Brandon Staley continued. He stopped giving. He didn't give Austin Ekeler the ball much in the second half. He only had 13 carries. That's the difference. Etienne had 20. He had 8 carries, I believe, going into halftime. I know he had single digits carries, and he ended up getting the ball 12 or 13 times, which prompted him to get at 20. Throughout the whole game, Austin Ekeler only got the ball, 13 times throughout the whole game. So it wasn't very much of a running game. And all you had to do was throw. And, of course, that led to some 3 and outs. But I say I have no problem giving Justin Herbert, part of the blame for that game, because, again, he's the quarterback. And you're going to always, when you're a top 5 or top 7 player in the league, you're going to always get flopped, regardless of if your team loses this type of game, especially, when you have to fight through injuries throughout the whole season and bad head coaching, you got to battle. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. I just got to give credit to Dougie P for how he coached and made the adjustments in the second half and ran Travis Etienne and opened up the field for Trevor Lawrence.
Exactly. I don't know why Staley stopped running Austin Ekeler. Whenever Justin Herbert can't get it done, Ekeler saves the Chargers each and every time. Never fails. Austin Ekeler is the one that's going to save you. He stopped running. They definitely stopped running to him. The lead receiver was Jared Everett. I ain't going to lie. Jared Everett was beasting out there. He had 6 catches, 109 yards, and a touchdown. The only touchdown. Chargers kept going 3 and out. Couldn't score. Then they get down there. They missed the kicker, missed the field goal, which possibly could have saved possibly could have won it if they made that field goal. But Jacksonville, Dougie P, like you said, made adjustments in the second half where Brandon Staley didn't do anything, just kept it the same. And the defense, what happened to this defense in the Chargers? Joey Bosa was out there. You had Darwin James was out there. Khalil Mack. Why couldn't they stop Jacksonville?
Because again, the pass rush wasn't getting home. It wasn't getting home. They were so outbalanced. Travis Etienne, like I say again, was running the football. When you're able to run the football and be balanced like that, it opens up a lot of play action, and it opens up the receivers. It opens up the receivers even more. So it keeps everybody out of the box when you keep the defense guessing. So that's what Dougie P did. He kept the defense guessing. He wasn't running the ball that much. That's how the Chargers were able to really get those turnovers and stop them, because same thing Justin Herbert did in the second half. Same thing Justin Herbert did all in the second half was throw the ball. That was the thing that Trevor Lawrence was doing in the first half, throwing the ball, and he threw 4 picks. The first turnover wasn't on him. That was a tip pass. Now the other 3, that was definitely on him. Other 3 was definitely on him, but you saw a big difference. They were able to run the ball in the second half. That was a difference. When you're able to run the ball, you keep that defense off balance, and that's going to open up a lot of easy opportunities for Trevor Lawrence, and that's what it did. And Brandon Staley, he just kept throwing the ball the whole game. He only gave the ball to Austin Ekeler 13 times throughout the whole game. He didn't even touch the ball. He didn't even touch. actually got 20 carries, especially the bet when you're up 27-0 and coming out of halftime. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get ready to establish the run. You're supposed to run some of that clock out. You're supposed to, when a team like that get momentum, you got to try to run the football. You got to try to shorten the game with the running game and win the time of possession battle. And they didn't do that in the second half. The Jacksonville Jaguars did that in the second half. They did that.
Austin Eckler only had 13 carries for 35 yards, even though he only had 2 touchdowns. That's definitely not enough for him. We did see the offensive coordinator for the Chargers get fired, and Lombardi, he's gone. Their quarterback's coach, Shane Day, he's gone. But yet, Brandon Staley still has a job, supposedly still. AP says did not having Mike Williams hurt them. I believe he was definitely another piece that they needed.
Yeah, I believe it hurted them, but I'm not going to make excuses for that. I'm not going to make excuses for that. They were up 27-7. If they would have won the game, having Mike Williams wouldn't have been a problem. So, yes, but I'm not going to make excuses for Mike Williams. I'm not going to make excuses for Mike Williams being out. They still was up 27-7 or 27-0. There's no excuse from losing the lead, even when Mike Williams was out. You still were able to make the playoffs when Mike Williams was out. You can't play against. You can't go out there and do your job when you have bad coaching that don't know how to make the proper adjustments that he needs to make. And Justin Herbert been fighting through that all season long. Injuries after injuries. But again, you still was up 27-0. So I'm not making no excuse saying, oh, Mike Williams been out. Mike Williams been out. He would have made a difference. He wasn't on the field. They still was up 27-0. The second half adjustments just wasn't there. And then I know my boy Vic said you can't rely on the kicker, but the kicker made a 50-yard field goal. Why couldn't he make a 40-yard field goal? That was a difference. That would have been sick. They would have had to go and get a whole touchdown. But again, the failed adjustments to able to run the ball when you're up 27-0 and up 27-7, you have to slow the game down at that point in time and run the football. And Dougie P did that in the second half, and you see how it turned it out, and it turned into a lot of wide open opportunities for the wide receivers in the Los Angeles Chargers, and they were able to come back and win the game because they got that running game involved. And Travis Etienne got over 100 yards, most of that in the second half, and 20 carries, most of that in the second half.
Shout out to Asante Samuel Jr. because it seems like Trevor Lawrence kept throwing him three interceptions for Asante Samuel Jr. Something his dad didn't do as well. His dad never caught 3 interceptions. But shout out to the Jacksonville Jaguars for fighting back. They lived to see another day, so they will go on to the next round. In the Sunday's game was a bigger slate. We had Minnesota. We didn't. We had the Bills go up against the Dolphins, which I thought this game was a little closer than I thought it would be. Knowing that Skylar Thompson was back there again, another rookie, he before Brock Purdy. So you that's how far deep back in the draft he was. Up against Josh Allen and the Bills did pull it out 34-31. But Miami started to come back, and I honestly thought we was going to see an upset here. What do you think about this game, Donte?
I thought Miami defense, to be honest, did all they could. Skylar Thompson, 2 turnovers, 2 interceptions in this game. Couldn't make the throws he needed to make down a stretch, but he did. I commend him from going out there and just able to have a shot, and a chance to win that game. I would take that for Skylar Thompson. Needs a lot of work in the offseason, but did not throw the ball really well this weekend. I know that was prompted because Tyreek Hill dropping the football early on in the game. The Dolphins had 6 drops yesterday. The Dolphins had 6 drops. They had 6 drops overall. That's not good. Jalen Waddle dropped two passes. Mike Gesicki dropped one right up over the middle. And again, so at the end of the day, they did all they could. Miami did all they could. And you gotta, and I'm gonna take this back. Mike McDaniel's coaching was horrible in the last 4 minutes. You burned 2 timeouts because you didn't want to get. You burned basically 3 timeouts because you didn't want to get a delay of game penalty. In the last one, you did actually get a delay of game penalty. That is terrible coaching. You burned all your timeouts within a 4-minute span, and all of a sudden you didn't have a timeout when it's much needed. But I believe a couple of more throws that Skylar Thompson could have made, they would have been in field goal range. But Buffalo, they didn't play as well. Josh Allen turned the football over twice. Miami Dolphins defense did all they could. Josh Allen just did a little bit better. He just made a little bit better adjustments, and they started to run the ball a little later in this game. But Buffalo defense, this Buffalo team may not be as scary for what you've seen against this Dolphins team. So at the end of the day, Mike McDaniels deserves a lot of blame for his bad management, his bad coaching, and his bad clock management, and wasted of timeouts at that last 4 minutes. But Skylar Thompson did all he could. He just wasn't ready for that big moment yet. And a lot of drops. But Mike McDaniel definitely, with that 4 minute span, used all his timeouts within that 4 minute span right there. That did not help at all. And then you cannot get a delay of game. You're the offensive coordinator. You got to get that play into these guys right then and there. You cannot be struggling looking down your damn sheet and looking for what play you're going to call. You're supposed to know already when that process has come what play you're going to call. And instead, you want to decide to waste all your timeouts on a down not to get a delay of game penalty. Awful coaching, but Skylar Thompson, they did all they could. But Buffalo Bills was just a little bit more better.
Right. You got 40 seconds to get a play call in. Now, I know Skylar Thompson don't know of course he knows the playbook, but he doesn't, he's a third stringer, so he don't take first reps with the first team. So I'm sure he had a wristband on. It would make sense to say, hey, the next couple, plays run 2, 4, and 7. So he already know in his head what he's going to do, and all he got to do is look at his wristband. All right, to his 2, so things of that nature. So yeah, you wasting valuable seconds, and then you want to maybe give him time to, if you see something wrong, he audible. Don't wait so long to get the play call in. And then a lot of had to do with the crowd noise as well. But like you said, Skylar Thompson did all he could do. On the defensive side for Miami, Holland was all over the place for Miami. But Josh Allen, I don't know. Allen with these turnovers, especially in the red zone, 23 of 39, 352. He had 3 tubs and 2 interceptions. Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis was the high receivers for the Bills. The running game, we all know Buffalo's running game. They got running backs, but they don't use them. Singletary, 48 yards. James Cook's 39 yards. But Buffalo pulls away with it, and 34-31 is the final score there. 3 points. But Josh Allen, again, we're going to talk about Josh Allen too, because we got Donte's favorite segment later on coming up on the show. But yeah, Josh Allen, Holland's underrated. Yeah, very underrated. So this game right here, I called the Giants versus Minnesota. I knew the Giants was going to come out swinging against Minnesota, and Minnesota one and done.
My bad, Damien. I put him in timeout. Lamar Jackson ain't no quarterback. Why the fuck he not no quarterback and he can't throw? Yes, he could, because if he couldn't throw, he wouldn't be in the league and he wouldn't be playing quarterback if he couldn't throw. So sit in timeout and learn something.
Minnesota goes one and done in the playoffs, 31-24. New York moves on. Daniel Jones shut up a lot of haters too that always talked about Daniel Jones. I've said this time and time again. Daniel Jones has pieces and things around him to work and maneuver. Daniel Jones will win games. Daniel Jones, 24 of 35, 301, 2 touchdowns, QBR of 81. You had Daniel Jones running with his legs as well, 78 yards. Saquon Barkley, 53 yards. You had Isaiah Hodgins, 8 catches, 105 yards, and a touchdown. Definitely the defense locked up Jefferson. Jefferson only had 7 catches, 47 yards. Kirk Cousins still can't get it done. What is wrong? Why can't Minnesota move forward into later rounds in the playoffs? What is up with Minnesota and why?
Their defense not good. That's the problem. Their defense is terrible. Their secondary is terrible. And I'm gonna give a little bit of I know he's not gonna get a pass from everybody else, but I'm gonna give a pass to Kirk Cousins on this game. He didn't play. He played solid. He was good. in this game. Outside of if you want to blame him from throwing the ball right there, basically a check down on TJ Hawkinson, you got to look at the play before when KJ Osborne dropped the pass. That would have actually been a first down. He didn't drop that pass right there. So that should have been a first down. That should have been a catch. And he did throw a check down. He did throw a check down, which is it should have went to the first down marker. You got to throw that ball to the first down marker. But he actually was good in this game. I'm not gonna blame Kirk Cousins for this game. This defense, Daniel Jones, 24 of 35, 301 yards, 2 touchdowns. They did. You got to give credit to the Giants. They were able to run the ball early. They were able to run the ball early in this game. They used it. Daniel Jones' legs as a weapon, some zone read keeps and stuff like that. And Saquon Barkley with the long touchdown run earlier in the game. Daniel Jones, 17 carries, 78 yards. Give credit to the offensive coordinator for using Daniel Jones' skill set for his best ability. And this Giants defense got stops when they needed to. But the problem is Minnesota Vikings secondary, they're terrible. They're horrible in the secondary. Isaiah Hodgins scorched them. Outside of the drop by Darius Slayton, he was having a solid game as well. So you just got to give more credit to the Giants. They played way better. And Kirk Cousins, for me, I know I'm not gonna say he's a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. Okay, we're not gonna act like he's a bum quarterback. He's just not not a great quarterback for us getting the job done in the playoffs. Same thing as James Harden. He's a great player. He just can't get it done when it matters the most. He's not a bum. He's not a trash player. He's not an average quarterback. He's a solid top 12, to top 13 quarterback that can't get it done. Just like Dak Prescott, even though he did get it done last night. But that's still in there, but he's still a good quarterback. He just can't get it done in prime time or when he needs to get it done. But this game is definitely not his fault. He definitely had a solid game. 31 of 39, 273 yards, 2 tubs. That game was not his fault. He didn't turn the ball over. He pushed the ball down the field. It's just this goddamn defense was not good and was not stopping the Giants when they needed to stop the Giants. That's just all it is. And his secondary was not good.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins. But we said this during the regular season. We did say Minnesota had some flashes. They'll dominate the one game. Then the next game, they get dominated by Dallas, 40-3. Then they get dominated by Green Bay. So they won so many 1-point games. They won so many times throughout the season. So hopefully next year, see what Kevin O'Connell does, because I don't think he did bad this season for Minnesota in that offense. I think he did great, for that offense. Just defensively, Minnesota got to fix it. Definitely got to fix that defense. If they fix their defense, their offense is explosive. You got to figure out who else to throw to besides Jefferson when he gets double teamed and nobody, he can't get open. You still got KJ Osborne, who's not bad of a quarterback. You still got TJ Hawkinson, who they acquired over on a trade. You still got Adam Thielen there. So
Adam Thielen is not getting open. The only one who was able to get open was Hawkinson. You're not going to force the ball to Justin Jefferson, who's double covered. Everybody said, let's get this guy involved. But if you look at it, it's not that easy. These guys could be double teamed. So somebody else got to find a way to get open. If a quarterback is holding the ball way too long, somebody's not getting no separation. Hawkinson was the only one to get separation yesterday. They doubled Justin Jefferson the whole football game. They doubled him the whole game. Yeah, he was able to get the one catch that was almost a touchdown, but they doubled him. They took him away. That was the Giants' defensive game plan. Take Justin Jefferson away. I don't care if TJ Hawkinson get 100 catches. We're not going to let Justin Jefferson do it. And that's one thing people got to look at. You can't force the ball to something that is not really there. Or if you force the ball, you're going to say, why this quarterback is forcing the ball to him? That's why you can't, because this guy's doubled. This guy's always doubled. And Justin Jefferson was doubled the whole game, and Hopkins was able to get open. Adam Thielen, I believe, I don't know how many catches he had. He had probably one good catch, a diving catch. But outside of that, KJ Osborne threw the ball to him. He dropped the pass. He also, dropped the pass as well on a third down. Before that fourth down play, he dropped the pass. So other than that, You gotta have somebody else that can get up. That can get up. You said Thielen was hurt. I'm not buying that hurt. He was still out there on the field. I'm not buying that he was hurt. He's still out there on the field. If you're still out there on the field, I'm not making no excuses. You're still willing to play. If you still can go out there and play, I'm not making no excuse. Now, if you're hurt, you don't play. If you're hurt, you don't play.
Thielen had 3 catches, 50 yards.
Yep, he was out there playing. He was out there playing football. So I'm not going to buy that. Make no excuse that he was out there playing hurt. He's out there. He was good enough to go.
All right, then we got the last game of Sunday night. We have the Bengals going up against the Baltimore Ravens, the AFC North matchup. No Lamar Jackson. He was still hurt from that PCL sprain. Lamar did come out and say, his knee was still inflamed, and he was close to a grade 3 sprain and not 2. But Tyler Huntley almost won this game. This game was closer than everybody thought it would be, too. 24-17. The Bengals get the job done. Key part of turnover in the game was that turnover at the 1. They tried to sneak it. The Tyler Huntley tried to go up top. It gets fumbled, pick 6. Scoop and score down the other way. Bengals win the game. Now, this game right here could have went either way. Baltimore actually didn't play that bad. Huntley, 17 of 29, 226, 2 touchdowns and an interception. They was running the ball with Dobbins pretty well. He was spreading the ball around. Of course, Andrews is going to be his target. But then you had Joe Burrow, 23 of 32, 219, 209 and a touchdown. Joe Mixon didn't run the ball that well. They didn't really feed him the ball. Only 11 carries for Joe Mixon. You got to give him more touches. Jamar Chase, 84 yards. Talk about this game, Donte.
It came down to basically the play at the goal line. All Tyler Huntley had to do was not jump over the top, or just sneak it in and let the players push him in. Instead, he decided to jump over the top and let the ball be batted away. And then, Sam Hubbard was able to pick it up and run it. That was difference. Just came down to that one play. I thought Baltimore did all they could to try to steal this game. Now, if you're talking about them getting in the end zone, this maybe would have been a different game. They may would have ended up flipping and winning this game because, Cincinnati couldn't really do anything. The offensive line was getting pummeled. The Baltimore Ravens was controlling, the line of scrimmage on the defensive side. They were able to run the ball as well, too. The only thing about it, Jay didn't give J.K. Dobbins enough carries, and then he expressed that after the game. He tired of not getting the football when it matters the most. A lot of that was guts and throwing, and Tyler Huntley running the football using his legs, which was good. But you got to give J.K. Dobbins some room to grow. You got to give him some room to run, and you got to give him the ball. He's your guy. He's a stud. And like I say, Marcus Robinson, what a hell of a play that was. What a hell of a double move that was that he did. That was a hell of a double move. I'm surprised the dude didn't snap his ankles on that. Didn't snap his own ankle on that move, on that play. That was a great double move by Marcus Robinson. But other than that, it just came down to one play, and that was the play by Sam Hubbard that he scored on a scoop fumble. It just came basically down to one play. Ravens did everything they could. They played great defense. They got the Joe Burrow, and that play just made one play. That one play just made a difference.
Definitely Joe Burrow. The Ravens defense got to Joe Burrow 4 times for a sack. They definitely can get there. And also, J.K. Dobbins also expressed if Lamar Jackson was in this game, they would have won. Do you believe that?
They would have won. Like I say, shoulda, woulda, coulda. I'm not gonna go by. Do I believe they would have won? The problem is they still had a chance to win the game. We could express if Lamar Jackson was there. When you have Lamar Jackson, that's going to increase your ability to win the football game. But they had an opportunity to win. That's, like I said again, that's an excuse of losing. That's a lack of excuse of losing. You got to play with what you got. Next man up, Tyler Huntley played well in this game. He did not play bad. Not play bad in this game. And I'm not saying again, if I was a quarterback, I feel some type of way because we did have a chance. It just came down to the one play, and he made eventually the one bad play was diving over the top, which he shouldn't have dived over the top. He should have just quarterback sneaked it in to get pushed in there. So at the end of the day, not making no excuses. If Lamar Jackson would have been in the game, they would have won. Yes, it increased your ability, but we won't know because he wasn't never on the field in this game.
And we go to last night's game. We get the Dallas Cowboys going into Tampa Bay. And ladies and gentlemen, 30 years. 30 years since the Dallas Cowboys won a road playoff game. 30 and they successfully did that. They finally win a dang on playoff game. 13-14. It looks like that Dallas was playing Tampa Bay's G team. Because Tampa Bay at all. I know they struggled and they stunk. But they Dak Prescott, he was 25 or 33. He had 305 yards, 4 touchdowns. He ran one in, so he had 5 touchdowns on the night. Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard got it done with the running game. Dalton Schultz was getting open. CeeDee Lamb was getting open. The defense came to play. All but Brett Maher. How do you miss four extra points? He missed 4. I can see 1. All right, you missed 1. Then you come in and miss 2. All right, but 4? Did you see they was going in for the field goal? They told him to get off the field.
Yep.
And then he finally makes one. But what was the difference maker in this game that the Cowboys beat Tampa Bay the way they did?
Tampa Bay just forgot they had a football game. They just forgot to show up. Tom Brady definitely has a noodle arm. Definitely has a very noodle arm. He couldn't get the ball down the field outside of the Julio Jones. Touchdown. Michael Parsons was disrupted throughout the whole game. The Cowboys' defensive line was disrupted throughout the whole game. And, Dak Prescott, just playing, just finally showing up in the playoff game. I mean, like I said, again, the Green Bay Packers game, a long time ago when I believe was a rookie, was definitely not his fault. But, when you're the quarterback again, you're gonna get most of the blame when it's even not your fault. So again, that was not his fault. The Seattle game, we forgot he won that playoff game against Seattle. And this game, he showed up in this game, showed out. CeeDee Lamb was really, really good. Dalton Schultz was able to get wide open. They established the running game. They did whatever they wanted to do when they wanted to do it on the offensive side. But that's due to Dak Prescott not turning the football over, making the right decisions, and using his legs and being able to get up out of the pocket. And Michael Parsons was just disruptive force yesterday in this game, man. He turned this game sideways. Of course, the pick by Tom Brady, flipped pretty much a momentum when they were going down the field. The pick by Curse, that was a huge turnover, but Dak Prescott in this offense definitely showed up, and this defense, was disrupted the whole game. That defensive line was just beating up on Tampa Bay offensive line. It was a dominant performance. Dallas played a perfect football game. They played a perfect football game. The only thing that didn't happen, they played a great game. They played a great game outside of the kicker. The only one that didn't show up was the kicker. That was it. Mm-hmm. But everything else they did right. The kicker made everything else go crazy. He should have walked back to Dallas after what he did. He should have walked back to Dallas. He should have been the only one not get on that plane and go back to Dallas. He should walk back to Dallas.
I don't know what was up with Brett Maher, but he's usually clutch when it comes to kicking situations. But he went out there, he finally made an extra point. But that was just crazy. The one thing about Prescott, I can say that he did yesterday that he usually don't do. He used his legs. When he used his legs, usually Dak is usually on point. He played turnover-free football yesterday. So shout out to the Dallas Cowboys for winning their game. Everybody counted them out because I ain't gonna lie, I did. I thought Tampa Bay was gonna at least have some type of fight in them. Tampa Bay ain't had no fight at all in them yesterday. Him and Mike Evans wasn't clicking. Brady and Evans wasn't clicking. It seemed like him and Godwin was the only one that wanted to play. They couldn't get the running game together. Brian Jensen hasn't played all season until yesterday. The center for Tampa, they had some issues. Now, a source is saying that Brian Leftwich got fired, but Todd Bowles still has a job. I don't know how true that is, but it's not all on Brian Leftwich. If the reports are true from what I'm hearing that he did get booted, but yeah, shout out to the Dallas Cowboys for winning that game, and they're moving on. Should Tom Brady hang it up?
You said should Tom Brady hang it up? I think he should consider hanging it up. I think he should consider definitely hanging it up. But again, whether if he does or do not, that remains to be seen. It's hard for him to lead football, but like I said again, that's pretty hard to predict. But a lot of people, of course, gonna say he should give it up, but we don't know what Tom Brady is gonna do at the end of the day. So I'm gonna plead the fifth on that one. He should give it up. He should retire. He should go. He has nothing left to prove. Any damn way. But we all know Tom Brady loves the game of football, and it's going to be hard to keep him away out of the game of football anyway. It's going to be hard to do that. But the key word, he should retire. He should definitely give it up. He has nothing left to prove. He's going to always be out as one of the best probably the best quarterback to ever play the game. So at the end of the day, he don't have nothing to prove, but we don't know what Tom Brady loves his game so much. You know what? He may really come back next year. So like I say, he should consider giving it up.
7 Super Bowls, countless records, MVPs, Pro Bowl nods. Like, again, it's nothing for you to do, Tom. It's nothing for you to do, sir. But to go sit and enjoy your kids. But yeah, there you have it. That was the recap of a wild and crazy Wildcard Weekend. Donte, who is your MVP of this weekend?
My MVP this weekend is Dak Prescott. Prescott for the Dallas Cowboys. I say happy to see Dak Prescott. Happy to see him get a playoff win. Like I say, we already know people gonna act like he's not a top 12 to top 13, 15 quarterback in the league. Like I say, it's just regular season. It's just playoff performances. They don't show up. And most of the players, it don't even really be their fault. But they're going to seem to get a lot of flack when they don't show up. We understand. And, of course, I understand you need to show when the time matters the most. But most of that will always not be the actual guy's fault. Like, two of those playoff performances, like, again, the Seattle one and Green Bay one, when he ends up winning the Seattle game, but the Green Bay Packers that year that Aaron Rodgers threw that pass, I forgot who he threw that pass to. I forgot it was probably Randall Cobb on that sideline. Whoever he threw it to, that was definitely not his fault. He definitely did what it took to win in that game. Mason Crosby ended up booming a field goal down the stretch to give the Green Bay Packers the win. That was just Aaron Rodgers' magic. Right there. So at the end of the day, he did what he needed to do. The only thing about it, his team did not win because on that field goal. Seattle, the very next year, he beat Seattle at Dallas, and then he loses to he basically loses to the Rams. He basically loses to the Rams in the second round. Same thing. He's turned the ball over all season long. But at the end of the day, he got the job done when it mattered the most against Tampa Bay. I don't care if they're 8 or 9. I don't give a damn what it is. He got the job done. And even I said, until I see Dallas improve, and until I see Dallas can show me that they can win a big game, I'm gonna pick against them. I did that in Dallas. You gotta give credit to Dallas. They did what they supposed to do. They clearly was the better team, hands down. They clearly made some adjustments, and like I say, Dak Prescott got the job done. So Dak Prescott was my MVP of this playoff first round kind of performance. So at the end of the day, man, like I say, Dak Prescott did what he needed to do.
My bad, we got random people knocking at my door. Yeah, no, Prescott's my MVP as well. He definitely was lights out for 5 touchdowns total, no interceptions. He had to prove everybody wrong too, because he going 78. Well, I think he was 7 or 8 games straight. He threw an interception. But Donte, what time is it? You got that list together?
Yep.
Coach's list for top playmakers of the week. Coach got his handy dandy notebook. Let's go.
All right, so I got 2 NBA guys on here because no college football at all. So for real or not, I'm going to do NBA, 2 NBAs, and college basketball and women's college basketball since there's no college football. When baseball come up, we definitely gonna put baseball on here. But this is what we got. This is what I got. Number 5, I got the guard out of the ladies women basketball. I got the guard out of North Carolina, Kennedy Todd Williams. This week, leading her team to victory, a 70-59 victory, I believe, over NC State. 70-59. 21.6 rebounds for Kennedy Todd Williams. Definitely had a solid game in this game, and she is number 5 on my list. Number 4, TCU beats Kansas State, who is really good this year. Kansas State is really good in men's basketball, so is TCU. Emmanuel Miller, 23 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists is number 4 on my list. Now, this one was a toss-up from last night in the NBA. This one was really a toss-up. I thought about this quickly, but a lot of people gonna say it's biased. When it comes to the Rockets on anything, I'm not biased about anything. I'd rather put anybody on my damn list for any one of my teams. But I did put LeBron James at number 3, even though he had 48 points. I feel like the number 2 guy had a better overall game in that game last night. LeBron, 16 of 26, 48 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. Last night, definitely did his thing last night, especially against my Houston Rockets. And the number 2 guy on my list is my guy Al P from the Houston Rockets. This was he had a triple-double against Sacramento the other night. Last night, 14 of 17, 33 points, 15 rebounds, and 6 assists. Definitely deserves the number 2 nod. I could have put LeBron James. It could have went either way, but I thought Al P better efficiency game. LeBron has him on points and assists. Of course, LeBron moves the ball around, and Al P had him on rebounds and better efficiency from the floor. Number 1 is Dak Prescott. You definitely got to give it to him for what he did. 5 touchdowns total in the game. 25 of 33. 4 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, 305 yards. That is the coach list of this weekend of the top performances in women's college basketball, NBA, and men's college basketball, and NFL. Dak Prescott's win the number 1 player of this week on my board this weekend.
There you have it, coach's list. We got a new number 1 in Dak Prescott. Can Dak Prescott stay on the list? Because he moves on next week. He moves on. So never know. He might get the number 1 spot. We don't know. But let's go ahead and go on. So let's go ahead and get into these NFL awards. They don't come out till probably later on to near the Super Bowl sometime. But we're going to give our thoughts on what our MVPs and everything should be. Starting with you, Donte. Who's MVP?
MVP of what?
Who's MVP?
Of the league?
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to say Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, I got Patrick.
I think he's the MVP. I'm going to say Pat Mahomes.
If Jalen Hurts wasn't out those 2 games, I would put in for Jalen Hurts was to win MVP. But yeah, no, I'm gonna give it to Pat Mahomes. We got rookie offensive player of the year.
Rookie offensive player of the year. I know I had Chris Olave. I got Chris Olave.
We'll go with Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker definitely, turned that team around, especially since they don't have, Carson and Penny, all them guys over there always gets hurt. But Walker's going to be there for a while. So I got Kenneth Walker. How about defensive player of the year? Who you got?
Sauce Gardner.
I'm going to go
overall. You talking about overall defensive player of the year?
Yeah, overall.
Okay. I'm going with Hassan Reddick. I think Hassan Reddick definitely does deserve it. 17 sacks, just can't ignore it.
I got Bosa. I know he edged him out by 1. 18 sacks overall. Bosa's all over the field for the San Francisco defense. I'm gonna go Nick Bosa to get Defensive Player of the Year. Then we got Rookie Defensive Player of the Year. This is where you got Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, I got Sauce Gardner.
I got Sauce as well. It was a toss up between him and Woolen though.
Yeah.
Tyreek Woolen for Seattle definitely battled. Tied for interceptions overall. Either one, you can't be mad at. Either one get it, but I'm gonna go with Sauce Gardner. Comeback Player of the Year.
Comeback player of the year. I'm gonna go with Saquon. Coming off the ACL injury. Geno, like I said, I wouldn't got mad if Geno Smith got it either because he was almost up out of the league. So all of them guys on the candidates definitely deserved it. But Saquon coming off an injury, ACL injury, not having no offensive line, and him leading his team to the playoffs, and plus getting past going to the second round. I'm definitely taking Saquon.
I'm going to take Geno Smith. For comeback player. Geno's been around the block. He's been a journeyman. He finally gets to a team who's going to take a chance on him, and he took him to the playoffs. So I'm going to say Geno Smith. How about Coach of the Year?
Coach of the Year, Brian Daboll from the Giants.
I got the same. Offensive Player of the Year.
Offensive Player of the Year. This is going to be hard. This one's going to be tough. I'm going to go Justin Jefferson. Even though he did get shut down, but you can't ignore the year. Yeah, 1,800 yards, over 1,800 yards, you still can't ignore that.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson definitely locked that one up. So we'll see if our picks will be right when that definitely come out. But there's our awards. Now we do have the finalists for the Hall of Fame, and only 10 people can go in. So you let us know who you think finally gets in. So we got Darrelle Revis, we got Joe Thomas, Willie Anderson. Both guys are on. We all know Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas was that on the offensive tackle, but he was at every game for Cleveland. We got Willie Anderson, Torrey Halton, Reggie Wayne, Devin Hester. You got Andre Johnson, Jared Allen, there. You got Zach Thomas, Dwight Freeney, Albert Lewis, Rondé Barber, Patrick Willis, and then you got Darren Woodson. Out of those, who goes in? Who you think gets in?
I got one of them, right? One of them. I'm picking. Okay, I'm gonna pick Darren Woodson. I want to pick Woodson.
Terry Hall, in my opinion, should have been in the damn Hall of Fame. I'm going to put Terry Hall because Isaac Bruce is already in there. Why are y'all leaving Terry Hall off this list?
Yeah.
Who was on the other side of Isaac Bruce? Terry Hall should have been in the Hall of Fame. So I'm going to go with Terry Hall. You can definitely go Reggie Wayne. He was on this. Marvin Harrison's in there. Harrison and who's the running back? Edgerrin James. They're all in. So why not Reggie? Reggie Wayne was a heck of a receiver. When Marvin left, when Marvin decided he didn't want to play no more, Reggie Wayne was right there. Yep. So Reggie Wayne, Terry Hall, they go in. Definitely Devin Hester, one of the greatest return men ever. You put him in there. Rondé Barber, definitely.
Yep.
Dwight Freeney was good. Everybody was forgetting about Zach Thomas over there in Miami.
Yep.
Jared Allen was a beast for Minnesota.
Yep.
You think Andre Johnson can get in?
Yes, I think he definitely can get in. His career was very underrated. I think he could get in, but like I say, I picked Darren Woodson. I go with Darren Woodson over Andre Johnson. I think it's going to take him some time to really get in, but I would really be happy if Andre Johnson is really in the Hall of Fame, and that will be the first Houston Texan pretty much to get into the Hall of Fame. Definitely would be happy.
And then you got Patrick Willis over there with the 49ers, who did his damage over there. This whole list is good. Darrelle Revis over, and freshman when Revis played. Appreciate you. We all know when Revis played. You all know how Revis played. Revis Island and all that. So definitely. But we'll see who will be the finalists for your 2023 NFL Hall of Fame. But those are your list. But only again, not everybody will get in, but they will pick out of this list. So we'll definitely see who will get in. All right. So we got picks and predictions of the divisional round. So Saturday night, I will be doing this game. So you got
the Eagles game.
Yeah. So you got the first. So you got the first game for Saturday will be the Chiefs going up against the Jags, and this would be an upset of the century if Jacksonville can go in Arrowhead Stadium and beat the Chiefs. But it's not going to happen. I'm taking the Chiefs in this game.
Like I say, the way this playoffs is being close and the way this playoffs has been going, it seemed like an upset what happened this weekend. But I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm going with the Chiefs.
But don't take the Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs is not taking the Jags lightly. The Chiefs definitely can be beat.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to go with the Chiefs here. And again, I will be doing this game. Another 8:00 game Saturday night. We got another NFC East matchup. We got the Giants going up against the Eagles. Eagles beat the Giants twice. Again, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. But I'm going with the Eagles. We got everybody healthy but Avonte Maddox, Jalen Hurts, a full participant in practice and walkthrough. Sweat is back as well. I'm going with the Eagles here. It's not going to be a 35-10 blowout. I was the first matchup, but if they go back to that game and can pound the ball running wise, I think it could be a 35-10 game. But I'm still taking the Eagles here.
You know what? I'm gonna go with the Eagles. I'm gonna take the Eagles close in the close game. I'm going with the Eagles.
And then we got Sunday's game. We got the Bengals up against the Bills. I am going to take the Bills in this game only because the Bengals offensive line issues is going to haunt them yet again. I'm going to Bills here.
I'm gonna take the Bengals on this one. I'm gonna take the Bengals on this one. Know that offensive line has some issues, but Joe Burrow them continue to get it done with a terrible offensive line. So I want to take the Bengals.
Yeah, definitely. East Coast Gridiron definitely said this is a Hall of Fame. I agree. Then we got the Cowboys going up against the 49ers. 49ers defense is pretty dang on good. They got the offensive weapons and Brock Purdy. I'm gonna go San Fran here.
I'm gonna go San Fran because I want to go for San Fran because they're my Super Bowl pick to get to the Super Bowl. So I'm taking San Fran.
So it's definitely going to be a good divisional matchup. Again, I will be calling that game live. 8:00, 8:15. Come on through on Saturday. Hopefully y'all don't get to see me pull my hair out. But it is now time for
Fact or Fiction. Let's go.
We got some Fact or Fiction. Fact or Fiction, the Dallas Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl.
Fiction. I don't think they're going to Super Bowl.
I don't see Dallas beating the 49ers. Is it possible? Of course. Anything is possible. But I just don't see it happening. So I don't see Dallas going to the Super Bowl either. That's definitely going to be fiction on my book. Giants need to re-sign Daniel Jones.
Facts. I think they're going to resign him. There's already questions that they will resign him and Saquon Barkley, so I'll put that as a fact.
I keep preaching it. Daniel Jones is not bad. If you give him some quality weapons around him, he can definitely make you pay. He can use his legs as well. He's a dual threat QB. Danny Dimes was throwing them dimes. So I think that's a fact. They're going to resign Josh Allen's turnovers is going to be a problem in the playoffs for the Bills. No, I'm sorry. Josh Allen's turnovers problems will keep the Bills out of the playoffs.
Facts. If he keeps turning the ball over in the red zone, if he keeps turning the ball over, it can hurt him this week against the Bengals, which is I do got the Bengals winning this game.
I'm going to say fact as well because definitely that momentum's going to switch and it's going to kill him. Fact: Brock Purdy will be the QB starting next year.
Fiction. I think Trey Lance is going to still be the quarterback. I don't see them moving on Trey Lance. Like I say, injuries happen all the time. Injuries happens all the time, and at least he's gonna get a spot to compete for the starter. But I'm gonna go with fiction. I think they're still gonna put Trey Lance out there. I'm gonna go with fiction.
This is tough. I say if San Fran goes to the Super Bowl and wins the Super Bowl, you got to start him. You got to start him. If he goes out there and wins your Super Bowl, you got to start him. So I'm going to say fact. And last fact or fiction: Lamar Jackson has played his last game as a Baltimore Raven.
Is it okay? No, mind. I will say, is it okay if I complete the film? This is really hard. This is actually really a hard question to answer. Really hard question to answer. I'm gonna say fiction. I think he stay. They find a way to keep him. I say they find a way to keep him. I think they know his value. I think they know his value. I think they're gonna find a way to get him the money. So I'm gonna be the only one that say fiction. Fact, fiction. I think
I'm gonna say Vic. I'm gonna say I think he had. That's me. Just because Baltimore caters, it feels like in my opinion, caters more to defense. You know, they got Roquan Smith down on the contract. They haven't put no pieces around them. You got Mark Andrews. You got you got J.K. Dobbins who's complaining he don't get enough touches. Receiving core, Bateman went down. Deshaun Jackson was supposed to do something. We all know T-Jack old self wasn't going to do nothing. Yeah. I just think that might be it. I could be wrong. My gut could be wrong, but will they franchise him? It's the guarantee that he was looking for. But we'll see what Baltimore's going to do. But I think that's it for Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. Possibly we can go to Miami. Miami could. We'll definitely see. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. But that was your NFL portion of the show there. We got NBA, little topics here and there, nothing too major. We got the Phoenix Suns still struggling. Has Monty Williams lost the locker room in your opinion?
I don't think he's lost the locker room. I really don't. I really don't think he's lost the locker room. I just think some players. I just really think some players like DeAndre Ayton does have a little bit of issue with them, which is I still don't think DeAndre Ayton wanted to be there. I didn't think he wanted the Suns to match the offer sheet. I think he wanted to move on and go to Indiana. He was looking forward to. But the Phoenix Suns end up paying him. I just think it's a little conflict in the locker room, and losing Jay Crowder really hurting him. Really is hurting right now. That toughness that he got, that 3-and-D shooting ability. Then the injuries by Devin Booker and Chris Paul has not been on the floor. So you got no chemistry really with the guys on the court eating away because you don't got guys that really playing. Cam Johnson has been out throughout the whole year as well. So I just think the injuries really killing them. And other than that, Jay Crowder not being a part of this team is really hurting. So I don't think he's lost the locker room yet. I just think DeAndre Ayton, I don't think he's really so all in with the Phoenix Suns, and I don't think he wanted Phoenix, to match the offer sheet. I think he really wanted to go somewhere else.
We got Con Man in the building. He said should have did something with Crowder. I believe it. Crowder definitely should have. Somebody should have been traded. You know, he should have been traded to somebody's team. Should have got something back for him. He's just sitting there. Phoenix record. Let's go see what their record is. NBA. Phoenix is 20, 21 or 24. They're on the outside looking in. Denver and Memphis is tied for first, 30 and 13. Then you got New Orleans. Sacramento's definitely playing well. Dallas, you got the Clippers. And then in the play-in tournament, we got Golden State, Utah, Minnesota, and Portland. The rosters for the Suns isn't that great. Yep, the trade deadline is coming. So somebody's getting traded. Sixers, they really can't do much with who they got to trade. We're not gonna get nobody crazy back for Matisse Thybulle or Furkan Korkmaz. We're not getting nobody in return from them. So I don't know who's going to be on the move. Who you think is going to be on the move, Donte?
Who I think is going to be on the move? I think you talking about for Phoenix or for anybody?
I'm just saying in general. Who's?
I think it's an opportunity. I think it's a chance that's going to be on the move. I think Jordan Clarkson and I think Jordan Clarkson definitely could be on the move to go to a playoff contender. Mike Conley could be on the move. I think Utah wants to be young, get a little younger. They got some very good young pieces. Look out for Eric Gordon for the Houston Rockets. I think he's definitely need to be on the move. In a trade deadline. A playoff team is gonna want him. I wouldn't be surprised if it's for the Philadelphia 76ers. I won't be surprised if they get another Philadelphia Rocket over there. So at the end of the day, I think Miles Turner can definitely move on from the Pacers. Buddy Hield can definitely move on. I will say the Kings can move on for somebody, but they're in the midst of a playoff hunt. I don't think they will be willing to move anybody as of right now. The only person I think they will consider moving is Harrison Barnes. That's the only person I think they can really consider is moving on from is Harrison Barnes. So those are the 10 guys that can really actually be on the move.
Speaking of the Kings is making a name for themselves. Donte, they must have heard you because you called them. Oh my God, you did one of the biggest rants ever about the Sacramento Kings and how they came draft and they can't do nothing. They must have heard that rant. They're number 4 in the West right now. What's going on with Sacramento that they're playing so well?
Give credit to Coach Mike Brown. Give credit to Coach Mike Brown. Coach Mike Brown, championship winning coach. I know it wasn't just a championship winning coach because he was assistant coach. And hey, he's putting all the players in the right spots. Including working through Harrison Barnes as well. De'Aaron Fox has been amazing this year. Sabonis has been a double-double machine, leading the league in double-doubles. They have a good chemistry. They have a solid bench as well. I forgot that. I keep Kevin Huerter. Kevin Huerter, Malik Monk is coming off the bench. Davion Mitchell has really been good. Terrence Davis has been good. Keegan Murray, the rookie, has really been solid for them. And like I say, y'all let it be known. Hey, they heard me, so hey, this is how they performing.
Yeah, because you went in. Let me go plug in my laptop.
Cool. You know why is it no improvement for the Rockets? Just because Eric Gordon is taking up space for the other young guys, and there's no improvement for the Rockets. But the Thunder damn show can't beat them in a ball game when it matters the most.
I got this laptop here before before we had no power. But no, De'Aaron Fox has been playing great. Back.
Say what?
Is Sabonis back?
You said Sabonis back.
Yeah.
He ain't never left.
No, didn't he get hurt?
Is he hurt?
I think didn't Sabonis get hurt?
I don't think he did. I didn't see him get hurt. I ain't never see him get hurt.
I know he was out for a while. Okay, I could be wrong. Giannis is out for a third straight game. Is that gonna hurt the Bucks?
I think the Bucks can win without Giannis. I think the Bucks can win without Giannis. I think they can win without hold it down till he get back. So yes, I think they can win without Giannis. They won't win nothing. They won't win a playoff series or nothing without him. But they definitely can hold the fort down till he come back.
Okay. No, because at one point they did say Sabonis is hurt. This could have been like later last like before the end of the year is coming up.
Oh, that was last year. Last year was.
Jason Tatum, is he MVP right now?
Is he MVP right now? He's playing like an MVP right now. Right now, since Giannis is hurt, I think Luka's MVP. Right now, since Giannis is hurt. I think Luka's MVP as of right now. But Tatum, he is probably in the top three with Luka, Giannis, and Tatum. Or he probably moved to two because Giannis have been out a short period of time.
We got the All-Star game coming up. It looks like Kevin Durant, I believe, is still leading the votes, but Joel Embiid and James Harden are moving up there as well. But if Durant's not there, he can't play. So obviously you gotta let Joel play. So I don't like the Celtics, but I'm gonna roll with Luka. Who's the most disappointing player right now so far?
Who's the most disappointing player? Like I say, the most it's hard to put out there, the most disappointed player, but it's really tough. So who's been the most disappointed player? It's really tough to even put that out there.
All right, so if you can't pinpoint a player, how about team? What team is disappointing you this year?
It's hard to pinpoint a team, but okay. So I got one. I got Kyle Lowry, the most disappointed player ever since he got the contract. I'm gonna go with Miami Heat. I'm gonna go with the Miami Heat. Kyle Lowry. He's been terrible. He has not stayed healthy at all, and Kyle Lowry is stealing money from the Miami Heat organization. The most disappointed team is. You can go with the Lakers, but we all expected for it to be the Lakers, so I'm not going to put the Lakers. I'm going to go with the Bulls. I'm going to go with two. I'm going to go with the Bulls in Minnesota. And I think Rudy Gobert is playing well. He's not a disappointed player. The team is disappointed. Gobert has actually played pretty well. He's averaging Gobert's numbers. His numbers are double-double. The Clippers, like I say, again, you expect them to struggle. They're not. They're going to pick and choose if Kawhi Leonard wanted to play or not, and Paul George, they're going to put them on load management. But I'm going to take the Bulls. I'm going to take the Bulls in Minnesota. I never thought Minnesota was going to be really that good. Yes, you're going to have Rudy Gobert playing good, getting double-doubles. Anthony Edwards has not took a step up either. He has been disappointing to us this year. He's came in with the injury. He had an injury coming into this season. D'Angelo Russell has been disappointing. So when you think back, I look at Kyle Lowry, who's been disappointing. D'Angelo Russell has fell out the face of the earth. They're already looking to get him up out of Minnesota already. His game been completely dropped off. Anthony Edwards has not been the best Anthony Edwards this season. But the Bulls, Billy Donovan is not that good of a head coach. He is not that great of a head coach as well. They made the playoffs last year due to Lonzo Ball getting hurt, but most of those, they were getting dominated by playoff teams, elite teams. They were getting dominated by elite teams. So I never thought they were going to win that first round against Milwaukee anyway. But to come out and have a season like this, Pat Williams has not showed up. To be that player that they picked him to be. In Minnesota, giving up a busload of draft picks. For Rudy Gobert, that hurt him. The depth has hurt him a lot. Losing Jared Vanderbilt and losing Walker Kessler, who's doing good over there in Utah, to get Rudy Gobert down. Yes, you can say you got the best player in the trade, but you got to look at who you lost as well and who helped the team out last year. Jared Vanderbilt, Patrick Beverley, and all of those guys definitely helped that team out and was a big part of the reason why that team was in the playoffs last year. So I'm going to say Minnesota and Chicago is the most disappointing team, two disappointing teams in the league. From the East and West, the Hawks are a good answer, but Chicago and Minnesota, they're two really bad teams.
So Brett says Atlanta Hawks has been disappointing along with Trae Young and his super poor to start the year. And is ever going to get traded? Atlanta's been talking about trading John Collins forever. They've been talking about trading John Collins. So who knows if John Collins not. But it won't be for no Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert type deal. The Knicks, biggest surprise in the East, Denver, only because they started so far behind. Hawks don't know who they are. All right, Donte. So we got Draymond Green's legacy. We all know Draymond Green. He's the villain on the court. He's the emotional heart and soul of the Warriors team. So for Draymond Green, is he a Hall of Famer? Or is he just in the right place, right time, right team? Like, is he a Hall of Fame, or he just in the right place?
I think to be honest, I think he is a Hall of Famer. I think he's a Hall of Famer. Yeah, the scoring numbers don't jump out at him, but he does mean a lot to Golden State. He does mean a lot to him. He does do a lot of the dirty work for Golden State. He does do a lot of the defensive principles to Golden State. He does do a lot of the playmaking for Golden State. He does guard does a good job of guarding the perimeter, the way he does. He means a lot for that team. He means a lot in that team. And when he goes out, you can see the leadership fades away on the court. You can see the ball really doesn't move the way it should be on the court. But when he's on the court, he definitely commands that leadership, and he definitely get everybody in the right places. So I think he's in a Hall of Famer. And then again, like I say, Draymond, Klay Thompson, they all came together. They all came together as a package and grow this team. So again, I think his ability to make and play on the defensive end, he is a factor to this team. Scoring doesn't jump out, but you don't need to score to be effective. You don't need to score the basketball to be effective. Having that leadership and him being able to hold guys accountable. Yes, you're going to get guys fighting in the locker room behind the scenes all the time. You're going to get some of those explosions on the court and on the sideline. You're going to see that, but that's basketball. That's due to guys wanting to win. And if you're not willing to take that for Draymond Green, then, hey, you're going to be up out of that, just like Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant didn't want to hear from Draymond Green, and look what Kevin Durant is doing. He hasn't won. The Brooklyn Nets hasn't been to a title, hasn't been close to being a title contention. And look what the Warriors have ever did. He has won a championship without Kevin Durant. And most of that is, like I say, his whole career been a terminator, the enforcer on the court, regardless if he punched Jordan Poole in the face or not. Hey, they're going to get it together. They're going to work it out, and they're going to find a way to get to a championship contender any way it goes. Even if they are struggling, they're going to find a way. They're too good of a team, not to find a way no matter what seed they're in. So at the end of the day, I think he's a Hall of Famer. And just because he doesn't score a lot, he does make a big difference on what they do in his leadership and in the locker room. Being in that locker room is definitely helps them out.
So Nicholas Claxton believes he should be number one in the Defensive Player of the Year race. He says, I'm defending 1 through 5, neck and neck as the leading shot blocker. I'm doing everything on the defensive end for the team, anchoring the defense every single night. So is he right?
He should be in the discussion. I don't know what if he win it or not. That remains to be seen, but he should be in the discussion. He is a great defender, and he's right. He does defend 1 through 5, and he is an anchor of that Brooklyn Nets defense. And I think he should be in discussion. But when guys like Rudy Gobert is going to be in it. Giannis is going to be in it. Guys like Giannis and Rudy Gobert, they're going to be in it every year. Draymond Green is going to be in it. But at the end of the day, he does have a discussion. He does have the discussion. He does have a discussion that he needs to be in. He does need to be in the discussion of it.
Early, but he's legit. So it's reports that the Phoenix Suns and Orlando Magic could suit Fred VanVleet. It looks like they're trying to not blow up Toronto, but move around some pieces. Do you see that a good fit for Fred VanVleet?
I can see the Suns, but not the Magic. I can see the Suns, but not the Magic. But then Fred VanVleet doesn't control where he wants to go. The organization control where he wants to go because he doesn't have a no trade clause. If he has a no trade clause, he can control where he wants to go. They just got to get the right deal in place for him. But the organization can send him anywhere they want to see fit in what it's gonna in whatever deal that works for them. But I believe the Suns could be more interested. But Fred VanVleet, is he going to be okay taking a bench role instead of a starter role? Because when you got Chris Paul there, Chris Paul's not going to come off the bench. Chris Paul's not going to come off the bench. Cam Johnson, who's going to be in a starting role when he comes back. So is he willing to come on the bench, or is he willing to go to Orlando, to get a start? So again, I think their front court is set. I think their backcourt is set too. I think Orlando backcourt is set. I think they're okay with their backcourt, but I would say Phoenix will be more realistic.
And that's some other stuff that's the reports around the NBA as well. The Celtics and the Raptors have interested in the guy from San Antonio. Was it Jacob Peliti?
Jakob Poeltl?
Yeah.
Yo, Poeltl.
So that's possibly where you can go. They're talking about Terry Rozier. The Hornets are taking Christopher Rozier. Scotty Barnes. Well, no, not Scotty Barnes. Westbrook was mad at the apparently Westbrook was mad at the coaching staff of yesterday's game. Last night's game with the Rockets. Westbrook then he called out the Lakers coaching staff. But we forgot about Jaren Jackson Jr. He's been on a tear for the last 14 games, having a block party over there with the Kings. And John Morant's going to be John Morant. We all know how good John Morant is. He thinks he's unguardable. Nobody can guard him. But John Morant is a superstar, in my opinion. Mavs should make a move. All right, Donte, we got 75 more days until baseball starts. Next month.
We got 75 more days already?
We got these pitchers and catchers probably be in Clearwater next month. Spring training will be here in no time, but we are on the AL Central part of the MLB, what they did in the offseason. So, of course, the AL Central, again, consists of the Cleveland Guardians, Chicago White Sox, Minnesota Twins, the Kansas City Royals, and the Detroit Tigers.
Did we do that division?
No.
Oh, we didn't do it? Okay.
We did the East last week.
Okay. Let's go.
Minnesota got their guy back. Carlos Correa is back with Minnesota. Who did the White Sox get? Who they got?
The White Sox gave up everybody. Key don't even know.
I know, but they did get somebody though. I forget who they got. But we did see the Guardians win that division last year. Are they going to win it again?
Yes, I think the Guardians can win it again with their pitching. With their pitching, they do got some good young hitters on the team. Ahmed Lazario was really good. Was really good last year. Not for his power, but for his contact and hitting. Josh Naylor hit some big time home runs as well. Mirez is going to always be consistent. He's going to always be a consistent 300 hitter. Tristan McKenzie, you got Shane Deaver in the helm. They got a good enough pitching staff. So, yes, I'm going with the Guardians. I'm damn sure not picking the White Sox. Yes, I'm going with the Guardians.
They got Benintendi.
And yeah, White Sox got Benintendi. Well, that damn sure ain't going to still be good enough. He ain't going to be good enough to win.
I was like, who did they get? I know they was letting go everybody, and then Liam Hendricks Then Hendricks is he's going to be out with the cancer. He's going to be taking care of that. So they lose Hendricks as well. Thoughts and prayers goes out to him. Make sure you can beat cancer. Again, you got the Cleveland Guardians. I don't think the Cleveland they do anything on the offseason.
I don't think they did too much. I don't think no team really did too much outside of Carlos Correa.
Oh, they got the infielder Miller. Oh no, that was in Milwaukee. Milwaukee acquired. They didn't really do anything really, nothing too crazy. But you got the Guardians coming out of the Central Division. Yeah, I don't know who's gonna possibly sneak in for a wild card, but Cleveland's gonna win that division. Koo said he's excited about his Rangers. KC gonna be last in that division, or is it gonna be Detroit?
I think KC is gonna be last. I think Detroit is gonna get a little bit better. I think Detroit gonna get a little better. I got the Guardians. I got the Minnesota Twins. I got the White Sox finishing in third. I got the Detroit Tigers in fourth, and I got the Warriors in last.
All right, and we only got one more division next week to do, and that'll wrap up MLB and what they did on the offseason. But Shohei Ohtani, do you think it's possible he could be the first $500 million superstar? 500 million superstar.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I think it's possible. But like I say, I still think they're gonna finish. I still think they're finishing fourth in the division. Cause I think the Rangers is gonna overtake them. I think the Rangers are better, than the Angels. I think the Angels did make some moves. They did get Giovanni Urshela. They did get one of the pitchers from the Dodgers. I forgot his name, but he was very good for Anderson. I think it was Anderson. That they got from the Dodgers. So that's a huge boost up. But again, I still think the Mariners and Rangers are a little bit more better. So yes, I think he has a chance. He has a legit shot.
All right. So it's going into the 2023 season. They already put out their top 5 pitching rotation. The Mets number 1. We got the Yankees 2, Atlanta 3, Houston 4, and then right at 5 would be Toronto. Agree or disagree with that top 5 rotation so far?
Like I say, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna agree on it. Like I say, I think Varman Valdez and Christian Javier is going to be really good. Like I say, we was the best pitching staff last year in the league. Just because of Justin Verlander left, they put us at and they keep us at number 4, top 5. I'm okay with it.
Then you got Verlander and
you got Verlander. Then you got Rodon and Garrett Cole in New York. But the problem with the New York Yankees, they haven't improved their hitting. The hitting has not gotten better. It's still the same hitting lineup. So, and then plus they lost Benintendi. They lost Benintendi as well. They did able to gain back Anthony Rizzo, but like I say, other than that, it was still the same hitting lineup that they had last year. Yes, the pitching he got better. And Hester Cortez, yep, he's an all-star, so he's an improved pitcher as well. But the hitting has not really gotten better. They actually got worse in hitting.
And Trevor Bauer can free to go anywhere. Who takes a shot on him, if anybody?
Well, the Astros ain't gonna damn take a shot on him. I can tell you that much. They're not gonna take a shot on him. It's gonna be hard. I don't think a lot of teams want him in the locker room, to be honest. I don't think a lot of teams want him in that locker room. So I'm gonna plead the fifth on this one. It's gonna be hard to tell which team is gonna want him because I don't think he's got so much personality issues, and a lot of teams don't want him in the locker room.
All right, so that was your MLB. Got a little WNBA news, and then we are going. Fantasy, good, yeah. Whenever it opens up, let me see. I totally forgot about that fantasy baseball we doing. Yeah, it didn't open yet. Yep. Soon as it opens up, I will definitely let y'all know. and the ones who said they're going to be on, we'll definitely get that together. But it's not open yet. So whenever it opens, Damien, you trust me, you'll know. WNBA, we got Maya Moore. Maya Moore finally retires. 4-time WNBA champion with the Minnesota Lynx. We got a 6-time All-Star. She's been a Finals MVP, regular seasons MVP, 3-time All-Star MVP, 7-time All-NBA. So Maya Moore retires from the Minnesota Lynx. You know, she took time off to help get this man, I forget it's her husband now, I forget his name, but his sentence overturned, and he did, and they got married and they had a child. But she is retiring from the game of basketball. Shout out to Maya Moore. Thank you for everything that you have done for the women's basketball. Definitely going to go be a Hall of Famer in my book in WNBA. July 15th, the All-Star game is back in Vegas for the 3rd time since 2019. So hopefully Kelsey Plum don't get that Walmart trophy they gave her. But we did have some trades go down, a big trade down. We all know that WNBA free agency is going to start February on the 21st. So some moves are going to be made. Big names. Candace Parker, definitely the biggest one out there is Breanna Stewart. And will she stay in Seattle or will she go? But Jacquel Jones asked for a trade, and she went to the New York Liberty. So she's going to be with Sabrina Ionescu. But a 3-way deal went down as well. So the Connecticut Sun, they're going to get Rebecca Allen and Taisha
Harris.
Harris.
Taisha Harris. Oh, that's all hard. That's all. That's about.
It's going to Connecticut, and then the Dallas Wings will get Natasha Howard and Crystal Dangerfield. Donte, how you feel about that?
I love it. I love the deal. I like the deal. We got again. I know we lost. I'm not upset at all, but it kind of hurt a little bit for me though because we lost Kayla Thornton as well. She was the heart and soul of this Dallas Wings team. She's gonna definitely be a big help over there with the New York Liberty. She's gonna definitely be help over there with Sabrina Ionescu and with Jacquel Jones, who's a great player. So losing Kayla Thornton kind of hurt. I like the Ty Harris. She didn't get a lot of minutes with Coach Vicky Johnson, but I love the move again. Rebecca Allen, a great shooter over there, and I love getting Natasha Howard, someone that can fill it up in the paint, a better scorer overall, than Kayla Thornton. That's something that we did lack at as another scorer outside of Arike Agubawale when she gets in her own moment. So you got another scorer out there, and Natasha Howard could put the ball in the basket as well. And we'll see where it goes from here. We did lose a guard in Ty Harris, who I actually really like. And also we got Celestine playing a little bit ball overseas, but when she comes back, she will be good. Celestine will be good for us as well. So I kind of like my Dallas Wings on the direction they're heading to. But Natasha Howard getting her is will really help, and Rebecca Allen will add some shooting on the perimeter.
Well, my Sparks did something, nothing too major. Even though I just pray Nneka Ogwumike come back and don't leave me, because if she leaves, oh man, the Sparks is gonna be in trouble. But that Jasmine Thomas has been traded to the Los Angeles Sparks in exchange for Olivia Nelson, Udada, Jasmine Walker, and the rights to Kiana Smith. And the Sparks also gets the Suns 2023 first round pick.
Damn, y'all letting everybody go, huh?
So, hopefully this is, I hope we get somebody. I hope we get Nneka back. I'm going to be in shambles if she goes. I'm going to be in shambles.
Olivia Nelson-Ododa was actually good when she played basketball. She didn't get a lot of opportunities last year. I thought she was really good. And Kenya Smith, she's going to go somewhere and develop. She didn't another person that didn't get a lot of playing time. But golly, LA Sparks giving away everybody and letting everybody go. and just being worse. I believe the biggest thing the Sparks got to do, they got to try to find a way. Agumake, they got to get those ladies back. They got to get those ladies back too. I believe that's going to be a big key of trying to get them back out, not letting them walk anywhere.
And then a small trade went down to Fever. They get Christy Wallace, and then Atlanta gets Danielle Robinson. So a little trade went down there in the WNBA. No big move for the WNBA. Trust me, when it breaks, oh man, we'll definitely let you know there. Again, we're seeing.
I might on the 21st. I may be streaming, do a WNBA free agency frenzy stream on that one. So I'm gonna let you know on that one if I'm gonna do that. Most likely I would. I'm telling you. You remember my bold prediction that last time we talked about this? I know Diana Taurasi is a free agent, but remind you, if Breanna Stewart stays in Seattle, I know it's going to be tough for Diana Taurasi to leave Phoenix.
Because Brittany Griner will be back.
Brittany Griner, if she goes back, if Brittany Griner go back, I believe Diana Taurasi may go back. But if she don't, I'm saying Breanna Stewart, Jewel Lloyd, hey, I think one last championship. Taurasi to the Seattle Storm.
Yo, that would be crazy.
I'm telling you, that's a bold prediction. Taurasi will walk and go to the Seattle Storm for 1/10 of winning a title. I'm telling you, that's bold prediction. Bold prediction.
That would be crazy. Taurasi goes to Seattle. That would definitely be crazy. What's going on, Alexander? That would definitely be crazy if that happens. Again, you got Candace Parker, Nneka Ogwumike. Again, still some big names out there in the WNBA who's going to get signed. I still think Candace might try to run it back. I don't know if she goes anywhere else. I don't know if she goes maybe to another title contention team. You know, she already has 2 chips. Yeah. I don't know if she stays with Chicago to try to run it back. I don't know if Chicago's going to get everybody back because Vandersloot and who's the other one? The other guard.
You got Julie Adelman. You got Julie Adelman on that team. Of course, you got Courtney Vandersloot. Forgot the other guard.
The other two. There's Vandersloot and the other one.
Gardner. You talking about Gardner? Rebecca Gardner?
One of them. One of them. But you know, the Chicago does good with the roster, so let's see if they can get them, you know, at least back together so they can try to run it back again. Or with Candace Parker and possibly go to another team.
Who?
No, I said let's see if Candace Parker, if she stays with Chicago, or does she run it back somewhere else?
I think she run it back somewhere else. And look, like I say again, bold prediction for Candace Parker. I'm not trying to stack super teams, goddamn, right here now. I'm not trying to do all that. But I would love to see her reunite with the Sparks, though. I would love to see her finish her career.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I would love to. Not saying they're going to be a super team, but I would love for her to reunite and go to the Sparks. I don't know if she have bad blood with the organization because Derek Fisher did run that organization and prompted her way to leave and to go win a championship. And Derek Fisher should never get a head coaching job. I don't give a damn if it's even in college. He could not get it done in the NBA. He could not get it done in the WNBA. So college kids, I still really don't think he can get it done with college kids. He needs to be an announcer or something, but he damn sure don't need to coach nowhere else. He don't need to coach high school. He don't even need to coach in high school. He don't even need to do that. That's how bad Derek Fisher is. But other than that, Candace Parker, I would like to see her end her career in Los Angeles, but I don't know if it's bad blood between the organization and her. But if she don't, Phoenix Mercury, it just depends if Brittany Griner goes back, if Diana Taurasi re-signs back, Skylar Diggins-Smith, and Candace Parker. I would love to see her go to the Mercury if it all comes together. Imagine her being with the Las Vegas Aces over there and trying to get another championship.
Oh my God!
Imagine that could really happen.
You might as well just crown the damn Aces again. Just crown them. Don't even let them play. Hold on. I'm going to get the name. Give me a second. Because this is irking me. Chicago. Hold on. I need to see the roster.
It wasn't Khalil Copper, right?
No, it wasn't Copper.
Okay.
Meeserman.
Oh, Emma Meeserman. Yeah, Emma Meeserman. Yeah. That's a forward. That's the forward that they got.
Vandersloot and Meeserman in their defeated. So we'll definitely see if they
I think the Connecticut Sun, I think they're gonna break their team up too. I think their team is gonna be broken up. I think that was that last time that team had with each other. And Chicago Sky looking like that team is gonna really break up as well. That team look like it's gonna really come apart as well.
Well, there you have it, guys. Another 7,200 seconds is in the books. We are almost at 50. Almost at 50. Almost at 50 episodes. Couple more, and then we're halfway there. We'll probably be at 100 by the end of the year, definitely. But we got another one in the books. Coach Donte will be back here on the Sports Empire Network. Got the late game with the Philadelphia 76ers going up against the Los Angeles Clippers. I can't do the nighttime games. I'll fall asleep at halftime. I can't do the over. I hate the West Coast games. But yeah, stay again this week. I will be doing the Eagles game, so stay tuned for that. Right here on the Sports Empire Network. We got the Big Three podcast coming up here at 7:00, so make sure you tune into that. And again, if you need the promo code, we got the hookup for your SeatGeek needs, concert tickets, sporting event tickets, NBA, MLB, you name it, it's on there. SCN is the promo code. Save $20 on your first purchase. Any last things you gotta say before we roll out?
Hey, y'all, shout out to everybody. Shout out to definitely Key for always helping me out. Empire Sports Network for allowing us to come, and grind. And shout out to everybody. Shout out to the Empire Sports Network for definitely allowing me to do play-by-plays on their platform. And, and Key for almost going, we almost 50 strong. And we're going to keep rolling and keep bringing y'all guys the content.
Make sure y'all definitely go subscribe to the Sports Empire Network. If y'all don't like anything else, definitely like it for the New Breed. The New Breed, definitely up and coming show where we're going to be showcasing all of the young athletes' talents. If y'all have not yet, I did do an interview with Jasir Whittington. He is a top 7 defensive lineman in the state of Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia for Emotep High School. He's already committed to Pitt, where Aaron Donald went. So look out for that name. Not this year, but next year, the year after. He's a senior. He's a junior. He has his last year in high school. But watch out for the New Breed. Definitely got some guys on there, some young kids out there who's definitely going to be balling. And we got some episodes coming up. So make sure y'all tune in to the Big Three. The Big Three podcast is next to 7. The New Breed, it drops here and there, but we do got one dropping on Friday. So make sure y'all tune in for that. But myself, I'm Coach Donte. We're always in the building. We're going to get on out of here. Love, peace, and hair grease. And enjoy the rest of the night.
Peace out.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm